I'm joined by Hen and Ash of the Karma Effect. How you guys doing?
Yeah, good mate. How you doing?
Yeah, well, the best of seeing you boys. Been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while, hasn't it? A lot has happened since we last chatted.
Yeah, you've had a hell of a hell of a few years to say the least. Obviously, as we air this, the interview, the brand new album Promised Land, which you've been kind enough to send across to me. So thanks for that, guys. Appreciate you trusting me with it, but ahead of release, will be released into the world as of tomorrow morning. And as obviously as we air this album is slamming, boys. It really, really is. Like from the moment I got to the thing, it's just like it's everything I loved in the debut, but it's gone deeper, it's gone wider, it's gone all. It's fucking awesome.
Oh, mate, thank you so much. Yeah, it's been an absolute labour of love that we've just enjoyed every second of putting it together. It seems like a lifetime ago, quite literally, since we finished it. It was probably about this time
This time last year.
last year we
Yeah.
were wrapping it up, and then obviously a lot has happened in the since last May to now. So, but we're incredibly blessed that it's been able to be put out and everything that's happened, and then the reception that we've had has been, second to none. So it's good.
How about, man? Well, like you say, it's been a hell of a time for you guys. You've had some great stuff getting thrown your way. With that being in mind, since all the stuff that's gone on since you released your self-titled debut, did you feel that pressure of the second album pressure when you were writing this, or did you try and ignore it?
Yeah, I was saying to someone earlier, I just felt like after the first album, I felt like we were on such a high, we were riding such a wave. Like me as a creative, like as the sort of main songwriter in the group, I just was so inspired by what we were doing that everything kind of, it's a bit of a blur. It just sort of kind of came together. I know I must have spent countless days and hours like putting these songs together and then giving them to the guys, and then we working on them and start, and then us working on them and stuff like that. But you kind of you sort of forget all that, and then you're at the end of it and you've got all of these songs and it's recorded and you're like, how did we get here? But we just, yeah, I think it's just been an incredible process. And like I said, the songs came together so quickly and so naturally. It's been something that we've not experienced, especially because the first album was, well, we were in the pandemic, weren't
We
we?
were, yeah. We kind of were forced to do what we're doing right now. Writing that whole first album was written like this, as you know, and over Zoom and in between lockdowns where we could get together. And also the experience of not actually being able to test these new songs,
Live.
those new songs live, That was something completely different for us this time round. We were saying the other day to someone that we actually played on the album release show for our debut. We played a song off of our new album, Promised Land,
Yeah.
and that's how long these songs have kind of been floating around for, and they've gone through various evolutions and changes as they always do. But we really, when you say pressure, I mean there wasn't really any pressure because the expectations for our debut album was so far exceeded what we thought we were gonna
They say
happen.
they say, don't they? You've got your whole life to write your first album,
Yeah.
and it is a little bit like that. I just felt like, and I don't know about you, but I just felt like we were so almost in love with what we were doing, and then we'd spent so much time on the road. We'd finally got to know how we all played together properly, like after, because we didn't get to do the whole let's go out and play live before we write an album. So the second time round was almost like the first time, and that's probably really helped us kind of go in, get the real kind of inner workings and the DNA of what the Karma effect and what our sound really is.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, like obviously with the debut album, you couldn't did perform because of how it was released and the times we were in at the time and everything else. But and obviously since then you've made up for it, boys. To be fair, with the amount of shows you've done, and especially since I've last seen you've done some amazing shows. Do you feel like those road miles added to this album?
Yeah, massively. As you said a minute ago, it's kind of bolder, wider, broader, stronger, this album. And that's how we feel as a group. We feel more connected, more together, and we really have got to know. I mean, I've known Henry for years and years, and we've written music together for, God, pushing on 15 years now.
Yeah.
So we know each other inside out. But, people like Robbie and Seb, really had the experience of sitting down in a room in person and writing together, because obviously we couldn't in the first album, as we mentioned, and that was really strong for us. And we really feel like those shows as well, playing together, the experiences we've shared, a lot of the stuff on the new album is shared experiences and stuff that's happened over the last couple of years. Some good, some bad, but it's all experiences, and it's all culminated in this body of work, which we're immensely proud of.
It should be, man. Like for me, this album seems like the more I listen to it, the more it's like it's an album you could completely escape in. Like if anything could be going on, you could chuck this album on, dance your heels off, and just get soaked up in the grooves and just the songs and everything. Like you could escape into the world of Promised Land for quite.
Absolutely, and really, like you kind of hit the nail on the head there. The whole thing is about escapism. It's about we live in a very complex world. We all know that. We live in sometimes an often pretty negative world, and we wanted to write something for people that they could throw on at a party and dance to, or they could escape, they could be emotional to. Each song, we like, even in the kind of innuendo form that a lot of the songs are, they are about emotions, and they are about love or loss, or if
Lust.
it's lust. Yeah, it's all sort of kind of culminates in the sound of this kind of bluesy, funky, hard rock band that we are. And I don't think we could have written this the first time round, because we needed those experiences together to be able to create this. And also, we had a little bit more, because of the fans and the crowdfunder campaign that we were able to do. We were able to spend and put more money towards making an album that was as big and as bombastic as this record is. We were, and I know you and I have bonded over our love of Aerosmith and stuff like that. I was hugely at the time inspired by that whole kind of like pump era Aerosmith sound, where it's just, the songs are feel good, they're big. It had a certain kind of like vibe to it that I was like, this is where I want to take our band in terms of its sort of thing. And then we obviously throw in all of our own personal influences into the melting pot, as we call it, and you get what is Promised Land, or what is the Karma Effect.
I mean, like you say, you guys have always worn your influences on your sleeve, and I love you for it. And it's, don't get me wrong, it's almost unmistakably the Karma Effect whenever you hear it. But you like we said, Head, me and you bonded over Aerosmith. I can hear that going through here. But were you listening to Pump at the time, or was that just something that's in you sonically, or was there any albums that you were specifically listening to at the time of writing?
I mean, we listen to everything, don't we? I mean, as a band in general, our main influence is that we do kind of proudly wear our influences on our sleeve, but we always want to try and create something that's fresh and new. And I think that that's super important. We never go into to making an album going like, let's make Pump Mark II, or Southern Harmony Part 2, or whatever, but we are hugely inspired by the Black Crowes and by Aerosmith. But then we're also massively influenced by that funk and soul element of if it's Stevie Wonder or Sly and the Family Stone, or even slightly more bluesy rock funk stuff like James Gang and things like that. So we take everything. And then obviously we know, like Robbie, our guitar player, is just so influenced by the blues and by actual blues. So you take that, you crank it up, and you get this sound. We're a British band, but we do love the Americana side of things as well, the American rock, as much as we also are proud to fly the British flag, with bands like we love, like the Stones are a huge one for us. And obviously Zeppelin, you hear it in our playing and in Ash's drumming and things like that. So, but yeah, we always go in with the intention to be us. But I was listening to a lot of things at the time when I was writing, and the standout album was Pump. I just got massively influenced by the kind of sonic quality of that album. You take away the sort of massive 80s drums, but you actually listen to the kind of guitar work and especially the bass, like Tom Hamilton's bass playing. And I was like, the way it all marries up, I was just subconsciously thinking, we've got that. you know, we can do that.
Yeah, I think this is it. Like with the album, like, you know, going back to your album, it has got those. You say it's got those, like you say, the songs you can go dance your off to. You got the songs you can slow dance with your missus to. You got the slow dance songs that will take you upstairs to the bedroom. You got everything. You know what I mean? It is that album where you could literally have one hell of a evening to it. And with that in mind, though, was there one song when you were writing it that really kicked off that song trajectory? You were saying it came together quite quickly, the songwriting element of it. Was there one song that really sort of made you go, right, okay?
I think the first song was, I mean, there was ideas floating around for a good year or so before we got in and properly wrote the record. But the first demo I remember hearing of Henry. So the process usually is Henry likes to do the demos in his home studio, and they're almost, honestly, you could release the album of demos and it's like a finished record, right? It doesn't compromise, do you?
No, I don't sit there. I don't sit there and just go like a couple of chords and be like, I'll send that to Ash. Because I want him. It usually goes, I do it, and then I send it to Ash, and then we kind of then take it to the band and we do it that way. But I know that I want him to hear it how I hear it.
Yeah, you want that fuller picture.
Yeah, and then that often is kind of how it starts.
Yeah, and I think the first song on this record that really like properly blew me away on a personal level is Promised Land, the title track. It was a fully, as you kind of pretty much as you hear it on the record, is how it was written by Henry. Full demo, everything pretty much as it is. And yeah, it just really set the tone. It's got every element of the Karma Effect that we love. It's different from the debut album and it's more upbeat a little bit, and it's got the sort of funk vibes in the verse, heavy riff in the like really bombastic riff, catchy chorus, great guitar solo. It's kind of got everything that makes up a great rock song in one song, basically. And yeah, that's the first song that I really felt we're onto something here.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that was one that I had the idea for the main riff, and it kind of it was one I kept coming back to. I was like, I don't know where this is going to go yet. At first, I was thinking, oh, like as much as I absolutely adore Black Stone Cherry, I felt like the riff was leading down that way, and I was like, I don't know where I'm going to take this for us. But for me, the one song that I remember finishing and even kind of almost trying to mimic the female vocal on the demo to sort of give an idea of what it would sound like was Wild Honey.
Oh.
Because it was, you know, and I remember sending that to you and you were like,
no, it was mind-blowing. Like the demo, again, like fully formed demo, everything on it. And it's just, yeah, it was incredible that we should release those demos at some point.
Yeah, I think at some point we'll have to catalog them and release them, because some of them are really cool, and a lot of the time I actually felt like I did some of my best work on the demo. Yeah. And I'm like, I kind of want to then go into the studio and be like, can I just really try and recreate this little bit of magic here and there?
But sometimes that's when it happens, isn't it? When you're just playing around and noodling, and you know, yeah, I've often sat there with my bass and gone, hang on, what was that? And then you try and work it out, and you never quite get that nuance right, and you're playing again. Sometimes you manage to do it, but I know what you mean. Like when you're throwing the idea around, sometimes you think, can I just have that bit on the album?
We kind of had that in the studio a little bit as well. You know,
nice.
Like, our thing is just record everything, because you never know what you're going to capture. You know, you might capture that one moment, and you're not able to replicate it. So yeah.
Nice one. I mean, you talking about Wild Honey there, and when you released it as a single, I like that sent across to me, and obviously in the press release, we're saying that, you know, you guys wrote it lyrically. It was inspired by a show you guys attended all together and had a good night by all accounts. Can I ask what show it was? Who do you went to see?
Yeah, we went to go and see Dirty Honey.
I did wonder.
Yeah, we went to go and see Dirty Honey in London. It was their first UK show. They were over for download, and they were doing like a little one-off headline show in London. And we went there, and it was just the most, yeah.
It was like night. It was a hot summer night. Pardon the Van Halen pun, but it was it was one of those like hot summer nights in London, and it was an electric evening in terms of just a band. It was like lightning in a bottle moment. A band that it was so much excitement in the room, and it inspired a song. And we ended up there's a funny story really. We were stood on the train station at like Hackney, weren't we? And there was this, I mean, she was absolutely stunning girl that was just standing there on the platform, and then the train got cancelled, and I mean, you were like, I think we'd already been like, wow, she's really, really pretty, and then next thing I know, Ash has gone over and was like, we're all, I think we might be going to the same gig because you look like you're going to this gig, and yeah, it kind of inspired this like story, this elaborate story that we kind of made up, but it was just one of those like special moments, and the lyrical content. I love that because it tells it paints a picture, and that's as a lyricist, that's always really fun when you can take someone away and they can be in the story.
I like the fact that you took that moment, like you say, it was, and we've all had those sort of moments, but you've taken that and you've really just ran with it lyrically and painted like a complete. I don't want to use the term fantasy because it sounds crass, but you know what I mean. Like
it is, and that's what I think is so good about, and that's why I love the ability of being able to use music as that kind of thing. Is that you can create fantasy, and it can be someone else's fantasy. That's the whole kind of idea behind it. Is that he's in a long-term relationship. I'm married, but these are kind of like things that you can write about, and there it's a little bit of an escapism. And the same with See You Again as well. That song is about a feeling. It's about that moment you meet someone, and you leave a night out, and you're like, I've got to see this person again. And it's the feeling of when you're kind of skipping down the street, we got your headphones on, and you're like, I've had such a kind of incredible evening. You don't want it to end, and that's what that song is about.
Well, so, you guys can capture those energies in the song, which I really love. You've captured all those emotions. It's a very emotional record, really emotional record.
100%. 100%. It's been like I said earlier. It's just been an incredible. It's been an incredible journey writing and crafting these songs together. And we as a band have never been tighter than when we've been doing this as well. So yes, it's been fun.
And you'll be, celebrating the release further this weekend. You've got your album launch show this weekend, which looks like a lot of fun as well.
We have indeed, yeah. We're doing something a little bit different, something we've not done before, which is like a sort of unplugged style full band performance. A lot of the time when you see like the release things, it's just acoustic, and we were like, no, we're a band. We want everyone to be involved, so it's full band, unplugged style. Obviously, we're very fortunate. We've got Seb in our band, who's an incredible DJ as well. So he's going to be doing a sort of like classic rock themed DJ set, which is going to be awesome. But yeah, it's in our hometown. We've also, because we're hosting it at a brewery, we've had a Promised Land lager made for us as well,
nice.
which is really cool. So if you're coming down to that, you're in for a treat. That's on Saturday. So yeah.
Is that just a short run for the album launch on the beer front then, or is that something you're hoping
to? In the emails, there has been talk about making it a long-term thing. So nice. We'll see if people like it first.
Yeah, they've been so hospitable, and that where we live, we don't live in a massive place. We say we're from London, but we're really like south London, more like leafy Surrey. And
London's cooler though.
Yeah, London sounds cooler than saying we live, just off the M25 junction 6 near Gatwick, whatever. But it's everybody around here, there's been, especially recently, there's been a real kind of like people started to really get behind it. You walk down the street and obviously people sort of know who you are, and they're like, you're like your band smashing it and stuff like that. So that's great. And we're coming back later this summer to our hometown. They do a huge it started out as like a local beer festival, and now it's huge. We've got the Oxted Festival, which is they've got Ella Henderson headlining it, and Example and stuff like that. But we at the Karma Effect are headlining the second stage on the Saturday night. So that's a huge moment for us to be able to come and bring our stuff back to our hometown and give them a full headline, festival set. So it's incredible.
That's got to be great to have that sort of support in your hometown, man, because sometimes, it's not always the hometown that looks after you sometimes. So, no, it's nice to have that, man.
Yeah, it's great. Like, we're very fortunate. And, for a town that doesn't really have a live music scene, it's it's great that people travel far and wide to come to it as well. So it's really grown over the last few years, and they've really looked after us. We did it last year on the Sunday, and it went down really, really well. So we're back again.
Yeah.
Nice one, man. I mean, obviously, recently you went out and saw with some other good friends of both of ours, Bad Touch Boys, which looked like an incredible tour. Unfortunately, I got stuck at work on the Cambridge date, so I didn't make it down. But my sister was along at the Cambridge date, and she made me laugh because she messaged me and she's like, because she knows I know Bad Touch, and she's like, "Who's supporting?" I said, "Well, do you remember Karma Effect from Just Wish Plug? Kirsty always comes along." She's like, "Oh yeah, they're really good." And she went, I was like, "They're supporting," and then she texted me back saying, "Why aren't you here?" I was like, "I've got an event at the hospice. That's the only reason I'm not."
Yeah, no, we had a great time, didn't we?
Yeah, such good guys, really, really lovely guys, and so hospitable, so professional, so welcoming. People like 5 guys who genuinely just care about the music and making it an incredible show, and yeah, putting the fans first, which is great.
Yeah, I think for us, like it's so important. We're there for the music. Like, yeah, we have an amazing time playing the music. We don't need like to kind of party and all that stuff. We get our kicks from putting on an amazing show, and those guys are the same. And we learned a lot every night watching them do their thing. It's so slick and so professional. And then they're just incredibly lovely people that genuinely believe in what we're doing. So we had some incredibly fun times, and actually Cambridge was also a real highlight of the tour as well. Sorry to say.
I think about it even more, mate.
But you know, we had a blast with those boys.
Yeah.
Nice one. I'm guessing a lot of these songs were showcase have already been road tested already.
Yeah, we played quite a few of them out on the road. I mean, you have to kind of intersperse it with the debut album as well, because
Yeah, of course.
we had quite a lot. We were supporting Bad Touch, but we had quite a lot of fans coming down to see us and support us, which is great. So got to give the people what they want. Also, we love playing those old songs and road testing the new ones, and Living It Up was in there all along. But as the tour went on, we released more songs, so more songs got added throughout. So yeah, it was great.
Nice one. What does the rest of the year and into 2025 hold out for you guys?
We've got loads of shows, quite a few festivals coming up over the summer. We're at Wildfire Festival, Firevolt, Made of Stone Festival, Nozfest, all of that sort of stuff, which is great. We're really looking forward to a nice busy summer again. And then there are murmurings of a UK tour in September. I haven't got any concrete details yet or dates and venues, but September we are going to be out on the road supporting Promised Land, which is going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be good. We live for the road, don't we? We love it.
That's our bread and butter. We love playing and touring and seeing the country.
I think as well, we write. I know I write and record all this music personally, as my opinion, so that we can get out and perform it live, because we are a live band. These songs are meant to be played live. They're meant to have the energy of a full-on rock band behind them, and we really pride ourselves on our live show, and we've worked at it tirelessly over the years since we started. We like to feel kind of like we're giving a stadium rock show in an academy-sized venue or a club or a bar or wherever it is we're playing. We want people to come away and be like, I can't believe I've just watched that in this small venue. And that's what we set out to do. Every time our intro music hits and we walk out on stage, our intention is to quite literally blow the roof off the building and make people leave going like, I don't know whether to laugh, cry, or defecate or whatever. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just whatever we can do to win over an audience and just be the best thing they've seen in years or whatever.
Well, you're definitely one of the highlights of any band I've ever had on at Just Push Play, man. I was so grateful that we could get you guys on in 2022. You played, so thank you again for playing, guys. It was great.
Thank you for having us, mate.
I know, it's my absolute pleasure. Well, guys, it's been absolutely awesome to catch up with you. And I know you've been doing these all day, so I'll let you go. But before we let you go, man, like, as you know, it works on the show. I'm going to play a Karma Effect song either side of this interview to bookend it. But obviously, we are airing this as the album will be launched. So, song from you, Hen, and a song from you, Ash, from the album that you really want getting played.
Oh, okay. Then I'm going to go with All Night Long, because that's one of my personal favourites on the record.
I'm going to change it up a bit. I'm going to go Be My Salvation. I really love that song, sort of country, not country, like southern rock, gospel elements to it.
That's some country.
There is
in
some country.
There's
Yeah.
a country twinge in it.
Oh, there you go.
Let's not.
Thanks a-
There's a bit of country in there.
Well, thanks for chatting to us, boys. I appreciate it.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much,
Lee.
Lee. Cheers, mate.